Okay, so I wanted to ask you about Zion because I didn't have a chance to look into that exactly. So, is it a social media network that you're building, or is it payment processing? Is it both?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. We're kind of a mix of what I would describe as like Instagram and Patreon into one single application. So we combined all the great things about supporting creators through payments and direct support, and then also build communities on top of that. We think the future of creators is basically building communities online, but the difference is that you own everything. Whereas in
Hmm.
all of these centralized services, the companies own the relationship. But in Zion, we're more of a utility that allows creators to own a relationship with their fans. And there's three main things that we're trying to fix on the internet. We're trying to fix the ownership of identity, messaging and data storage, and then payments. Arguably, those three things are what we use every single day to interact online. We use our identity, which is the base layer that we log into things. Then we use a messaging relay or some sort of a data transfer service to transfer that information across the web. And then we use money to interact that value. And so Zion is fixing those three problems using a decentralized open source system.
No, so I heard someone talking about this the other day and it made me laugh. They were basically we're calling what we're doing right now on traditional centralized platforms as digital sharecropping.
Yeah,
And I was like, it's 100% accurate because you build up a brand and you build up a community. And for a lot of people, this is their livelihood. It's like, I
sure.
definitely want to get into like how this affects the everyday person because I think a lot of people are like, I'm not an influencer, so I don't care. I'm not a content creator, so I don't care, but this absolutely affects every single person that has a phone. But it's like you spend all of these years creating this company essentially, and then overnight you can wake up and it's gone. And that sounds kind of crazy, but like imagine if you just woke up and everything you had built was taken away without cause. So I don't
Of course.
understand how that's legal, but if you were to skim through that terms of service, it's in there just like they tell
Because
you
you
that
don't
it
own
is.
anything. That's why I think
Right.
there's this illusion that we've built, that we've used this term that it's my Instagram or my Twitter, when it's
Right.
not, and it's in fact you're nothing. You don't own anything in terms of the relationship. You don't own the content. Everything you're doing is on this service, and they just say, "Hey, you're allowed to use our service for free, and we get to do whatever we want." I mean, that's like creators have built a mansion in someone else's backyard with no rental agreement. That's the current state of the internet. And our offer, our value, and I think the promises of the new world is you can now own your audience for the first time ever because you own the identity, you own how the content is disseminated to those other people that are your followers, and they can directly support you with no middleman using the Lightning Network. I think that's the impact of how payments will work. Like if you look at the differences that are out there right now, if you look at Patreon, Patreon has six layers of people between you and your fans. It has the credit card company, the credit card processor, the bank, the website, all of these other things in between you. Whereas in Zion, it's just a wallet and a wallet, and it can transact value freely with instant settlement, not 30 days, not 45 days, not 60 days. It's instant settlement between you and your fans. And I think why that's important for regular people is that creators can also monetize them. Everyone becomes a creator, right? So every comment in Zion is an active opportunity for a payment. Every single piece of content. So even that sub comment or that sub reply, someone can send you sats for that. And I
Mhm.
think the big thing about the book was also to outline the opportunity and say, look, there's another system coming. We have a better way to do this for the first time. We have a way to fix what's wrong with the internet. And I think that's why Unapologetic Freedom is like that manifesto. And it's kind of the de facto book on censorship. It's like, this is what's happening in the world, and this is the solution.
So, I find it funny because 'cause I'm like, I'm waiting for you to post that your book gets taken down or something like that, and I hope it doesn't, obviously, I hope it
No,
it continues to do really well,
I don't think
but
it would. It's not that bad.
it's not that bad, but it's, like, calling out the very systems that it's being sold on, right? And I was like, there's just something really,
It's not
like,
big enough
amusing
yet.
to me.
I don't think anyone's listened to it. I mean, we had I think a couple thousand people bought the book, but which is very weird to me. It's kind of a weird thing.
Is it? What's
It's
the feedback
weird.
been so far?
I mean, feedback's been great, like very
Mhm.
supportive from the community. But what's weird about it is your ideas are in someone's brain. And I think like I've always heard that that's like a interesting thing, that like these are my ideas. These are my theses I've taken for the past 10 years of my life. I put it into words in a a couple hundred pages. And now people are listening to my ideas. They're listening to what I believe and what I think is an opportunity for the future. And that's very weird to me. I've never had ideas disseminated at scale before because I'm not an influencer. I've just been a CEO of a tech company twice, and I've had an exit in my 20s. Like I'm always behind the scenes kind of a CEO. Now I'm being public a little bit more about my life.
Mhm.
And that's a little bit strange to me, but a blessing. I hope people find value in it.
No, that's probably a good thing because I feel like the people that actively seek it out just to seek out the attention, like, those are generally maybe not the people you want to be listening to. I think it's the people that are a little bit, cautious about stepping into that light and, like, taking on that responsibility that you're like, "Okay, maybe this is a person that has something valuable to say." Do you know what I mean?
I hope so. I
I
hope I
hope
can
so
create
too.
value. Yeah, I hope that this book creates value. That was the whole purpose behind it, was to create value.
What I appreciated too is it's like it's super easy to read. Like I you could easily read it in a day or two. So if you're very new to the conversation around crypto or blockchain or anything like that, it's not intimidating where a lot of the conversations are. And I think the biggest hurdle is getting those people to cross over and to have that adoption rate kind of increase.
Yeah.
So is Zion launched yet? Like,
Yeah,
are you?
Zion is
Yeah.
live.
Mhm.
We're working on Zion V2. They'll be out in the next few weeks. But Zion's been live since August. But we've been in this like kind of closed beta. A few thousand people are using it every month just to fix all the things that we were working on. And over
Mhm.
the next few weeks, you'll see a big release coming out. So if you want the latest information, you can go to our website, getzion.com, put in your email address, and we'll be able to let you know when the new version is coming out and live for more and more creators.